Hey guys, it's Saf,
and Sam.
and we are Saf with Sam.
And we are back with another episode of Girl Talk. So today's topic is, does love conquer all?
Does it?
Do you think it does?
I don't think it does.
Well, it sounds very pessimistic if we're both like, oh, I don't think love conquers all.
But the thing is, there are different factors that play a role into a relationship. Love can be everything. Like love is God. Love is your friends. Like love is maybe your boyfriend, your husband. Like it's a lot of things that play a part.
Do you think love conquers when you and your partner have different religions?
That was a really hard question. I actually had a discussion about this with a friend, and it was like, can you see yourself marrying outside your religion? And the thing is, it's both a yes and a no, and it's very complicated. But all I know is I want a God-fearing man. But the thing is, wanting a God-fearing man, like, if I was to be with a Christian, and I want him to be God-fearing, that means, or that could mean that he's very religious, and being together, you yourself being religious and being with someone who is very pious himself could be a problem, like later on in the future. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, it would kind of be like, oh yeah, you are for your religion and he is for his, but as soon as maybe kids get involved and other things as well, it gets deep. So it gets harder and more serious
because oftentimes when you raise kids, it's based off of your religion, and you want to raise your kids believing in your own religion. Exactly. And
there are a lot of similarities within our religions,
but then there are also differences. And so when you have a partner who doesn't have the exact same beliefs as you, it gets really hard, because you want to raise your kids believing one thing, and then your husband or wife wants to raise your kids believing in another thing. And if you don't discuss that before, then it creates friction in the relationship.
Not even that. You can discuss it before, but things, because people tend to change, and we all do, things can change during the relationship.
Yeah, sometimes people, before you start a relationship, they're not that religious.
Exactly.
And so it's not a problem, because you might be very religious and they're not religious. And so, that works, because then you've talked and you'll be able to raise the kids with your beliefs.
Yeah.
But then throughout the relationship, they change and they start getting more involved in their religion. And then by the time you have kids, they say, well, no, I actually want to raise my kids believing in my religion. And then that gets really hard, because you had a plan.
Exactly.
But now the plan isn't working, and then that creates friction, and you might start fighting and whatnot. And then love doesn't always fix that. Like, you have a problem, and just because you love each other, it doesn't change the fact that you have a problem.
Exactly. True. And the same way, as in how do you love the person? Like, I was thinking about what Ramla said in back chat. It's like, you love the person. I don't remember now. Yeah, but however, it was
was it in their episode of when they were talking about religion?
Yeah. And then it was like, she would marry someone off because of the religion, because she loves the person because of the religion. So I get that too, because like, loving someone with the same religion, that's love as well, because you guys share like an interest in God in the same way as you both share the same interest in God, basically. And it's not like you wouldn't share the same interest with a person of another religion, just that the way you guys maybe see things would be different, so it would cause small problems, basically, which love couldn't always conquer.
Because I think sometimes people have this idea that love is the most important thing, and as long as there's love, you can handle any situation. And I think, if you have love, it gives you motivation to handle a situation, but it doesn't always mean that you can solve the problem. Sometimes you have a problem that's, I think you can solve every problem, but sometimes the solution isn't what you might want it to be, but the solution doesn't favor your love for that person or the relationship.
True.
Jeez. Okay. Can you join us, Brenda?
Yeah, so an example of that would be if you get a job opportunity that would require you moving to another city or another country or another continent.
So having a long distance relationship as well. Does love
Well,
really
would you have a long? Well, it's either you have a long distance relationship or you don't
exactly
have a relationship at all, or you stay.
And then that goes back to how you are as a person. Are you more of a person who likes to have your partner around? I'm not necessarily a person who needs to have my partner around all the time, but it would be nice to have someone in the same country or like not too far away. Like maybe like Sweden wouldn't be so far from Denmark or Norway. Like it's not so far, but just the thought that the person isn't in the same country. It's not like sorry, speaking in Swedish. It's not like I'm gonna take the train to Gothenburg, like that, like a couple of hours. But yeah,
I think for me. I think it depends at what point I am in my life, because I feel like right now, up until I'm like in my mid-20s, right now I'm prioritizing my career. I'm prioritizing my job, and I'm trying to make sure that as DJ Khaled would say, I secure that bag. Like I'm trying to get money and I'm trying to make a life for myself. So if that requires moving to London or moving to India for a job or something, I'm gonna have to take that opportunity to make sure that I do something for myself.
Easy.
It's not.
Easy.
I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just saying that the type of person
like right
I am,
now,
that would be.
But if you would be in love right now, I don't think you would be saying this right now. You get what I'm saying? Because it's
No,
it's
because
not that easy.
that's what I. No, that's
the
way
how
I
you
see.
Want to see
No, that's the way I see life right now, and that's the way I base my decisions right now.
But it's
up
because
until
you don't
I'm in
have
my
someone in your life.
True, but I feel like even if I did have somebody, up until my mid-20s, I am prioritizing my career and making sure that I have that set.
So would
then
you stay off a relationship? Would you?
I wouldn't break the relationship. If I had to move to another country for a job opportunity that could bring me great success in the future, and great success now and in the future, and secure my career, I would have to take that opportunity. Now it's up to. I would be able to have a long distance relationship, I think, because I don't know, I've never been in a relationship, but I could imagine that I would be able to handle it. But now it's up to him. Are you okay with having me be in another country while you're here?
You both gotta be okay with it, or else.
So I would be okay with it because I have to make that decision for myself. I have to prioritize me and my life, because as much as I love you, at the end of the day, you might not be here in 5 to 10 years.
That's very
I want you to be,
so
but you
scary,
might not
guys.
be.
Like you really
but
don't know.
Me, my money, and my job, and the money that I make for my family and for myself financially, that's gonna affect me now in 5 years and in 10 years. Definitely. So I'm gonna have to prioritize that over you, unfortunately. So love doesn't always conquer all. Love doesn't always come before everything. Sometimes you have to make choices for yourself.
What if it were to be like, oh, but he can help you get financially stable, and like maybe you don't need to work, and
no, I don't like living off of somebody that way. I wouldn't be a housewife. I don't think so.
No, I didn't say housewife, but like he's taking care of you. I'm not saying you're not gonna have a job, but he'd be like, you can work here in Sweden, and I can still help you get that extra cash, like instead of moving to
help me get extra cash.
Bombay.
How? Like he's helping pay for like the rent and whatnot.
Yeah, like just help.
Because that's what I mean. In 5 to 10 years, when we're not together, I'm not gonna have that income from you.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna prepare to pay my own rent in 5 to 10 years.
True. All right.
So I need to be able to myself. I need to be able to do it with myself.
All right.
Does love come first when your families don't like each other? What comes first? Your love and your relationship, or your family?
How do you mean now? Like
your family just doesn't like
your significant other. Ooh.
And now, okay, and also,
that's a problem.
Okay, and now there are two different situations. One where they don't like him just because, like, they feel like they don't get a good vibe from him, and one situation where they don't like him maybe because
he's not making you a better person.
No, or because of like racial or tribal issues. Like he's from a race that they don't like, or he's from a tribe in Africa that they don't like, or something like that.
Well, I think it's on every individual to like make that decision. Like if you know how you are as a person, but that like if your parents wouldn't like him, let's take the second one first. If your parents wouldn't like him because of his race or tribe or something like that, then that means you yourself are kind of raised in the way as in like you are pointing out people like, oh, you're of this race, so I wouldn't even talk to you. Do you get me? Like I won't even like
How do you mean?
start a conversation with you. Like
Why?
cause like kind of like my mindset is like I'm raised in a certain way because my parents taught me. But then
your
you
parents,
might change
yeah,
while you grow up.
Like for example, white people. Your parents, I don't know what your parents would be like, but what if your parents, they don't mind white people, but they maybe wouldn't want you to be with a white person. You don't have anything against white people. You wouldn't mind being with one, but your parents might not really want you to be with a white person. So when you bring home a white guy, they'd be like, no, this is not what we want from you, want for you. What would you say? I would say, first of all, half of y'all white anyways, so y'all can't be saying that kind of stuff.
That's your family. So yeah, Portuguese descent. I would actually want to know why they don't like.
There's no reason when you don't like race.
No, like
you just don't like that race.
No, but some people they can feel like, oh, these white people are like this. They will feel like they are superior or because we do have history. Everybody knows the history.
All right, they don't like white people because it's like
they just don't. They ain't feeling him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure they feel him because like if I feel him, y'all should feel me to feel him. So y'all feel him as well. Exactly. No, and the first one was, what did you say? Like
if they just don't like sometimes you don't like somebody just because like there's no reason. It's not race. It's not your personality. I just don't like you. Like,
well, that really I can't do so much about it because like if you don't like the person, anything good he does, like oh, you can buy your mom this bag or something. Like if my mom doesn't like you, she's not gonna start liking you, or maybe no. That's like,
wow.
But like no, I don't know. I don't think like they would always find a fault in what he's doing. You get me? So.
But I think there's a difference between if your parents don't like somebody because they don't like anybody who dates their little girl.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, because then they still like him. They just don't like that he's dating you.
Exactly.
And then, like, that's different to them just not liking him. But yeah, but I think also for me, it depends on why they don't like him. Like, if you don't...
They need to have...
Because I think also, because I feel like my parents have really good intuition. And
yeah. Oh, my mom definitely has.
So if they didn't like somebody because, no, I just don't get a good vibe from him.
That's
I don't
one
feel
thing.
Like he's a... Yeah.
That's to actually say I don't get a good vibe from this person. Like that's your stomach telling you something. Like you get so that would be something. So then I would take precautions. Like I would still be with the person, but I would be more attentive. Like, but then the person maybe doesn't want to feel like
you don't want to be in a relationship.
But I will make it a natural thing, like because you always gotta be attentive anyways. But then now we just got our perspective of because we said love doesn't conquer, like.
So I really would like to hear the opinion of somebody who thinks love can conquer all. Because
yeah, we would like to hear that because then we get a different perspective of why you guys think love conquers all. So because as we said, there are a lot of factors that play a role in it.
And I think part of it is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think part of people who think that love conquers all, I think it's partially because if you have love for a person, and I think I said this earlier, if you have love for a person and if you have love in your relationship, you will always try to find a way.
Exactly.
And I feel like there's always a solution to something.
No, there is a solution to every problem, but then again, not every solution is the right.
And I think for some people, love is everything. Like if love is all they need. So as long as they have love in the relationship, it doesn't matter what kind of differences they have.
True.
Which I understand, but then I'm also thinking, how can you be with somebody who thinks and just is completely different?
How do you mean?
Because sometimes you can love... Because I feel like you can't control who you fall in love with. And I think sometimes you can fall in love with somebody who maybe has different political views from you. Okay, yeah, political views. Somebody has completely different political view from you. You're on one side, they're on the other. And I feel like for me, that would... Well, in
Would that
Sweden,
have an impact?
in Sweden, it would. Well, I mean, unless you're a Sverigedemokrat, then that would have an impact. Because there are
Would you
some.
even be together with them? No.
No, because that. Okay, but what if you meet somebody, and you're not gonna ask them on the first date, "What's your political stance?"
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Because
and then
it does say a lot about the person.
Yeah, no, but some
That
people
would
are
be
no
drop top.
some people like. Okay, you start seeing somebody, you start going on dates, and then after a while, you might have been on a couple days. You might even like officially be together at this point. And maybe you've been together for like 2 months, and then out of nowhere, either they tell you or somebody else tells you, or you find out somehow that they're part of a political party that you don't support at all.
Well, if you don't support it at all, then you don't support him. That means
But
that
he's a
needs
good
to be.
person.
Yeah, but that needs
And
to
he
be
loves you, and you love him.
But I think that needs to be a drop top because you can love a lot of things. You can love a lot of people, but not every love is right for you. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can find love in different places, but not every love will be the right one for you. Do you know?
Well, what if
so
he's right for you? But the only
he
problem
won't be.
is that
No, he won't be right for you because if you can support him in his political decisions, then
So
that's
politics
not
is
your.
more important than love.
No, but okay, what is love? Like, if we're gonna discuss this, then we need to answer the question: what is love? Love is a lot of things.
Love is the feeling you have for somebody.
It can be much more than just the feeling
Okay,
you have
but
for
right now
somebody.
it's the feeling
Because
you
the
have for
feeling
somebody.
you have for him will change when you know that he has
Okay, but
some
what
kind
if-
of
what if-
political. Because
but
what
what
does
if
it
it
say
doesn't
about him?
change?
Oh, he's a racist. Oh, I love myself a racist. Really?
Okay, but what if you find? Okay, but what if you still have that feeling of affection?
You will
and
have it
affection
because
and
a lot
love
of
for him?
people do have it. But how is
Yeah.
it with breakups? You will still love the person, but you gotta move on because, honey, life goes on. So it's the same thing. Like, depending on what you like. I know myself. If I want a religious and God-fearing man, I'm not gonna go like to. You can go and find someone who wouldn't be religious and God-fearing, but if he's not gonna change within the near future, like that needs to be a drop top because it's like. I would love you, but I can't love you fully because you're still having this missing piece that I need in my life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it wouldn't be. Basically, yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. No, yeah, but yeah. So really, love.
See, here's the thing. Here's the difference, right? I stalk people.
So I would know his political party before we even went on our first date. I would know the name of his aunts, the name of his parents, the name of their dogs. And all that.
You see this girl, eh? I'm not even shocked. She's crazy. She will know your whole future.
And possibly even the dogs he will have.
I was just about to say it's not that bad, but you are.
I would know the name of his siblings. I would know the name of his siblings' significant others and his siblings' exes. And I would know the name of his parents' exes.
She's doing the most right now. Miss Extra.
Guys. Okay, guys. So that was it for today. So
Our conclusion is just no, love does not conquer all. If you believe that, then please comment below so that we can get another perspective.
Well, I mean, does love conquer all?
Is love the most important thing?
Yes and no, because you need to love. If you know.
You can be in a relationship with somebody you don't love. I've seen that happen several times.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Plenty of people are in a relationship
if we're gonna get
with
to
people
that, if we're
they
gonna
don't
start
love,
talking about that, then
so-
yeah, it doesn't have to be that love conquers all. But
is
however,
love the most, wait, but is love the most important thing in a relationship? No. Or I don't believe so.
it doesn't have to be, but it's different for every person.
So if you think that
Because
love
I mean, I will be in a relationship with you because I love you and the things you do, and I love you
okay,
as a
but
person.
love
You know what I'm
fades.
saying?
So when you're 80 years old,
So,
you're not gonna
so
love
when
somebody.
love fades away, the love I still have for you is what keeps us going, and that could be
No,
like,
but you don't
oh,
have
I
love.
love your intellect, your intellect.
But you don't have love
But love
anymore.
doesn't always have to be just the feeling for someone, Sam.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
How
No,
you
but I'm saying so that I'm challenging you so that you can explain better.
wow.
Because somebody's
Okay,
probably thinking
so-
sometimes you are supposed to be together, but you have to work on yourself.
Maybe you
yeah.
guys are meant to be together, but
But
not
not
at
right
this
now.
exactly. There
But
are times.
but I read
for
somewhere
everything.
where somebody was like, sometimes we feel like we meet people at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Maybe if we met them 5 years later or 5 years earlier, but so we feel like we met the right person but at the wrong time. And he said that there's no such thing, because if we met them at the wrong time, then they're the wrong person. Like
That's
they're
true
not
as
for
well.
you. So there's
That's
no
true as
such
well.
thing as a wrong time and right person. Then they're just not the right person. But maybe, so right now the situation is wrong, but if you meet them again later on,
Maybe it
then
could
they'll be the right
time
person.
and the right person.
Then they were the right wrong person. Later on they'll be the right
Wow.
person.
Yeah, but that's true though. Yeah, basically, you gotta love yourself to know what you deserve and like, don't settle for less.
And people also say you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself, and you won't really be able to love yourself if you don't work on yourself. Like if you don't take the time to make
And the
mistakes
steps, yeah.
or, you know, travel somewhere or have a job or something, like then you won't be able to truly reach your full potential and love yourself as a whole person. So then you won't be able to love somebody anyways.
But at the end of the day, you should follow your heart, but take your brain with you.
No, follow your brain is what I say.
Well, I mean, your heart can be like, oh, let me just take this job. I'll find love later.
Yeah,
so
well, then don't-
follow your
brain.
heart and take your brain with you, and like, don't be
Your
narrow-minded.
brain,
You
your brain
gotta see
is
different
your brain
sides.
is the driver, and your heart is the person who holds the map and says, "Oh, go left, go right, whatever." But then you know your brain still has the power to say,
Obedient, though.
"Girl, I ain't going to the right. I'm going to the left. Don't you tell me what to do."
True. Okay, guys. So that was it for today. Like, really? No. Okay, so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And please share if you like this video.
And comment your thoughts below. We would really like to hear what you have.
And we're gonna
what you
have our
think.
latest video right there, I think.
Yeah.
So y'all can check it
And
out.
then, yeah.
You can. Like, do you see how you talk? Can you like hurry up?